See, y'all try to convince me that it's me. Y'all try to convince me that I'm the bad guy, I'm the bad person. Y'all are literally sitting up here arguing with the man because he doesn't want people twerking in his restaurant. But the funny thing is, you all don't do white folks like that. You all don't go to white folks' establishments and show out. You all don't harass white people. You all don't bother white people. You all don't bother white people at all. The man said, don't twerk in his restaurant, and y'all talking about he has to be nice when he say it. Y'all talking about he shouldn't curse. Y'all are talking about don't play twerking music. No. You know before you go into that restaurant that you are not supposed to be twerking. This is a restaurant, an establishment where people are eating, relaxing, enjoying their food and the music and the ambiance. You hopping up on tables and chairs and dancing, all that twerking is ridiculous. And this is the problem. Black people want you to be nice to them so they can stunt and cut up. Black people want you not hold them accountable so they can stunt and cut up. Y'all want to be nice. Listen, I've already told y'all to stop twerking in my restaurant. Better yet, you know when you come into my restaurant, you're not supposed to be twerking because it's a restaurant. So you already know this. I don't even have to even say this. But you're trying the restaurant owner because he's black. If he was white, you all would respect the restaurant owner and you would not be twerking. I keep telling you all have an inferiority complex. You all don't do white folks like that. You all do not do white folks how you do black folks.
With all due respect, lady, I invested a lot of money into buying this building, into developing this concept so black people can have somewhere nice to go to, okay? Somewhere where we can feel good about ourselves as a... Come on! Stop the music, please! Somewhere where our people can feel good about ourselves as a culture, okay? No, real talk. And so all this twerking and shit, take it to Prime, take it to Pink, don't bring it here because we're a restaurant. And so beyond that, 75% of my customers are ladies. And I'm on men to show respect for themselves for how they carry themselves here. So how can I tell the men to respect themselves and you guys are twerking on glass here? If you want to do it, get the fuck out my restaurant.
Hey, queen. Woman, you have done it again. You are constantly raising the bar for all of us and doing so flawlessly.
Because I did it for our people and I did it for our culture. So don't do it now. Don't do it again. I don't want to hear it. If you don't like it, get out because I don't need your money. I need to provide something for my people. And don't do it again. Thank you.
Check, please. Nah, for real, check. Let me get this review.
Here's what you do. If you don't like it, you stand on the glass twerking, you get out my restaurant, okay? No, you carry yourself like a lady, and you get up. You're a lady dancing on the glass. I'll get the trooper for you real quick.
You carry yourself like a man.
No, you talking to the goddamn owner of the restaurant and the building. We can work out.
She right though. She right. She right. Still talk to her respectfully. She got some.
Every day you wake up and take on life's challenges like the boss that you are, and you make it look so easy.
He shouldn't have to say anything. But guess what? I know you all. I talk to the real black people. I don't talk to the social media facade of black people. I talk to where you all are. I know good and well you all don't try them white folks like that. You all don't try white folks like that. Y'all are mad at this man because he told these women to stop twerking. Matter of fact, don't twerk in my restaurant because I want my restaurant to be a respectable place. He said, take that mess to them other places that might let you twerk or want you to twerk, not in here. And y'all are complaining. You see, what you'll find is the more you apply standards, principles, character, and morals, the more black people are going to buck. Yes, I said it.
Hey, he don't need the money. He doesn't need the money.
despite any scandals that might come into your life, you know that your confidence is all the confirmation you need to stay positive and uplifted. You know yourself. You know your worth. You know you are magic.
So let me get this straight. We can't make fun of Nate Robinson because he got his head knocked off after he's running his mouth. We can't make fun of him because he's black and the guy's white. Keep telling y'all about this whole fake status of being black and being white, but y'all still want to buy into it. But we can't make fun of Nate Robinson because he got his head knocked off by a white guy. And we mad at this restaurant owner because he doesn't want y'all twerking in his restaurant. And you all want to tell me that we are ready for revolution? You all want to convince me we are ready for war? You all want to convince me that this whole voting thing we did, coming out in record numbers and celebrating all this stuff, was progress?
You know, it seems like you have a particular problem with twerking. At least that's the way I read it. Tell us about that.
Well, let me explain. First of all, I don't have a particular problem with twerking. At our restaurant, you're always going to hear music because we want to make sure that it's a constant positive vibe for our guests. One of the things that we don't want, though, is we don't want guests standing up in their seats, grabbing glass and twerking on glass. You know, for those who like twerking, we don't have a problem with it. There's lots of nightclubs people do it at. They do it in their home. But at our restaurant, we want to be mindful of that. Our restaurant is one where my mother eats at, my grandmother eats there. My sons work there, and we want to make sure we keep a good environment. And so I'm not here to make any indictment on people who twerk because it gives people a good time, but that's just not something that I can have in my restaurant. One of the most undervalued people in this world, or probably the most undervalued, is Black women. And I'm very mindful of how they look and how they appear. And we have so many classy and nice Black women that come to this restaurant that define what True Kitchen and Cocktails is. And the actions of the women standing on the sofa and pushing on the glass twerking is not that.
And you know that it's handled. So baby girl, just remember, respect is a minimum. You are a goddess, and you deserve nothing less than the best.
And so when we talk about advancing the culture, I'm mindful of how we all look as people. And that's why I apologize for using the F word, but that's also why I'm very, very steadfast in making sure that our guests carry themselves in the right way at this restaurant.
But it does then sound like your issue is with twerking. And it's not that it somehow doesn't paint a proper picture the way you see it. And that doesn't seem to distinguish nightclubs versus your restaurant. It sounds like you don't think twerking is the proper way of presenting the culture. I mean, that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, the word you used was classy.
I'm not saying it's not the proper way to present the culture when you're dancing and having a good time at a club, but I am saying it's an improper way to present our culture in my restaurant.
But you all want to convince me that we are ready for some kind of revolution or some kind of war. And the man can't even hold Black women accountable. Think about it. You know you're not supposed to be twerking in the restaurant. And instead of just saying, my bad, my fault, I was wrong, you all are talking about the way he delivered the message. No, you're wrong. You know you're not supposed to be doing it. But what you all don't realize is that they cater to your lower self. Everything they do to us is lower vibrational. These white liberals convince us that we don't have to have any character. These white liberals tell us that you can act a fool because you are Black. This is what they tell you. How do I know this? Because anytime you try to hold somebody Black accountable, it's white liberals saying you can't do it. It's Black people listening to white liberals saying you can't do it.
I invested a lot of money into buying this building, into developing this concept so Black people can have somewhere nice to go to, okay? Somewhere where we can feel good about ourselves as a, come on, stop the music, please. Somewhere where our people can feel good about ourselves as a culture, okay? No, real talk. And so all this twerking and shit, take it to Prime, take it to Pink, don't bring it here because we're a restaurant. And so beyond that, 75% of my customers are ladies. And I'm on men to show respect for themselves for how they carry themselves here. So how can I tell the men to respect themselves and you guys are twerking on glass here? If you want to do it, get the fuck out my restaurant. Because I did it for our people and I did it for our culture. So don't do it now. Don't do it again. I don't want to hear it. If you don't like it, get out because I don't need your money. I need to provide something for my people. And don't do it again. Thank you.
Y'all are getting upset at the restaurant owner because he's promoting black excellence in his restaurant that he worked hard for, and y'all are upset? Y'all are mad because Nate Robinson got his head knocked off by somebody that actually trains the box, by somebody that he thought he could beat off of a couple of months of training, and we can't make fun of Nate Robinson? We are soft. We are emotional. You can't be righteous and emotional. You cannot be righteous and emotional. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. Getting mad at this restaurant owner because he cursed? So what? You are not supposed to be twerking in his restaurant, and he knows you all wouldn't do that to them white establishments. He knows that. Black people know how to respect what's white. Anything with black in front of it is owned, controlled, and operated by white people. So that means black people. Black folks know how to act around white folks. That's why black people tear up their own community and don't tear up white communities. Y'all calling me sellout, and I'm telling you all to be great. Y'all call me sellout, and I tell you all to start making excuses and be great. Y'all ought to be ashamed of yourself. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Look at that. Ma'am, you're going to have to leave, please. I have children here.
Don't forget it. And don't let them forget it either, because you are 100% that queen.
Saying that this restaurant owner has literally killed his restaurant, I don't think so. Obviously, I'm a black woman and I like nice things and I like to go to nice places. And this is actually a nice place. If you guys haven't visited True Kitchen, forget the viral video, you should go. Like, especially if you like Southern cuisine, nice alcohol, nice drinks, go to this restaurant. The ambiance is good. Don't know what ambiance means? Go Google it. Definitions there. It's a really nice place to go and hang out with your friends, take a couple cute photos, and just really enjoy the cuisine.
And y'all want to diminish everything that he worked hard for. He don't want that image. They're telling you all to sexualize yourselves.
You cuss them out. Don't sit here and make a speech about how you're supporting the culture when you're sitting here shaming women for dancing the dance of our culture. That is ridiculous. You want a safe space for people to be happy and have a good time, and most of your people are women. Why wouldn't you want to allow them to be free and dance? Especially if you're playing music that makes us want to do that. You know, in African culture, they move their hips in their butt. It's just the way that it is. In Latin culture, they're moving their hips in their butt. But for some reason, you're shaming these women for dancing to music that requires that kind of movement.
Jumping up in restaurants and letting your butt flap in front of strangers. They telling you all that that's liberation. That's entertainment. That's fun for you to be a spectacle. But you do what you want to do. But we can't get mad at this man because he doesn't want you all twerking in his restaurant. I don't care how he spoke to anybody in the restaurant because it's his restaurant. If you don't like it, don't go to his restaurant.
We always complain about our black men not protecting us. Okay? We always complain about guys treating us a certain way, looking at us a certain way, even though we're respectable young women. And I'm not saying that those ladies aren't respectable, but we can't keep disguising and keep clapping and applauding poor etiquette and calling it black culture, because that's not my culture. Poor etiquette is not my culture. That's not my culture. That's not my standard. It's not what I stand for. So I applaud this man for wanting to have nice things, wanting to have a nice restaurant, and wanting people to actually respect what he's trying to do within our community.
For a free blast, get money. Go.